everyone. Welcome to part 1 of Can We Switch the Food challenge. Getting some more fluff into your veins before we get to the angst. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who still watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the uploads, and let's get into it, shall we? Please, gentlemen, enter the chat. I have a new challenge for you. Oh dear. Give it a moment, it might be a good one. It's going to be stupid. Watch. Oh come on, Shirabu. I thought you left this part of your personality in high school. You're acting like you are here the first time. Is it something difficult? We have some stuff to take care about. Wait, so it's true? What Kindaichi sent to the group? Nothing is set in stone yet. Still thinking about it. I see. Take your time, okay? It's an important decision. What's going on? They're thinking about adopting a baby Kindaichi found in a dumpster. A what? That's so sad. Poor baby. He's fine now, in best hands at hospital. I see. Good luck, genuinely. Adoption is no simple matter. Personal experience. You're also thinking about adopting? Or fostering. But so far, we didn't get lucky. I see. Good luck then. I'm sure it's going to work out eventually. Hopefully. Okay, to answer the previous question, no, it's nothing difficult. You can actually do it during your next meal and be done in 5 minutes. Is it going to be messy? Depends. Your task is to ask your partner if they would switch food with you. You can add that you like theirs better if you want. Sounds quite harmless. Alright, that can be done. Could be worse, I guess. Thanks. Is anyone against? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, go for it then. Let's see if your partner loves you more than his food. Oh boy. Considering they usually ate what they cooked at home, Shigeru could already see the issue with this challenge since they pretty much ate the same thing when they had a meal together. One option was to suggest ordering takeout since neither of their diets would be overly impacted by some less healthy meal once in a while. And so he did just that, trying to ignore Kentaro's raised eyebrow and questioning glance. It was fine. He could just blame it on cravings or something. Kentaro never blamed him for those. You just know how to set the mood, huh? Shigeru curled more into a ball on the couch and looked away. I'm just not in the mood for cooking today. I'm not saying it because of that. He plopped down on the couch next to Shigeru, gently running his fingers through his hair. I mean it in a good way. It's nice to spend the evening as if we were 16 again from time to time. He leaned in for a quick kiss and then dug into his food, humming happily as he munched on the noodles. Shigeru waited for a while, also taking a few small bites of his dinner, the guilt he felt intensifying with every second. Actually, could we swap the food? I kinda like yours better. Kentaro's lips turned down in a pout as his eyes darted from Shigeru to his meal and back. You were the one ordering. Couldn't you get it too? But I didn't know what it's going to be like. Please. Grumbling under his breath, Kentaro took one last bite of his dinner and then handed the box to Shigeru, waiting for the switch to be done with his hand outstretched. Shigeru melted, his heart warmed by the knowledge that Kentaro did, as Yamagata put it, love him more than his food, and snuggled closer to his husband's side. Thank you. Yeah. Despite what his tone might suggest, he wrapped his arm around Shigeru's shoulder to pull him almost on his lap, stealing one more kiss from Shigeru's lips before he continued eating. Content atmosphere surrounded them, until Kentaro squeezed his hand. Have you thought about it? Shigeru sighed. He did think about it. He had been the whole time since Kentaro told him about the little girl needing a home after her parents weren't suitable to care for her anymore. He wanted to say yes, let's try being parents, but it wasn't as simple. This was a small child, a huge responsibility, not a whim. The strong arm tightened around him. If you aren't sure, we don't have to do this. Their close family will find a way to deal with it somehow, for sure. But what if not? It's lucky the social services have enough empathy to look in the actual family first. But what if they run out of options? Shige, I love you and how kind you are. But I'm serious. If you don't think it's a good idea to play parents, then we shouldn't. You can't force this. So it's all on me? Shaking his head, Kentaro nuzzled deep into the crook of his neck, the light tickling of his breath sending pleasant shivers through Shigeru's skin. No, it's always us. You aren't alone in anything. Let's talk about it a bit more and then we see, okay? Shigeru nodded, worried, and yet deep down, he could feel as much of excitement bubbling up. Before they got Kosuke, Shirabu would never believe anyone could be a messier eater than Goshiki. Back then, he used to call him a baby whenever they ate at one table. Yet, sitting at their family table now, watching Semi trying to feed Kosuke while most of the baby food ended up either on the high chair or on the boy's face, he found himself rethinking his previous statement. And he wouldn't change a thing. Watching Semi and Kosuke interact always melted his heart. Truly, if Semi was built for something, it was performance and being a father. The thought didn't come with a surge of dread churning in his guts anymore, but rather urged Shirabu to do better himself. After all, he couldn't let Semi be the favorite parent forever. Even if he kinda expected it to happen, he wouldn't give up so easily. Just how far we've come. He smiled when Semi tilted his head at him in a silent question. It's nothing. Just thinking how nice it is to spend morning together again. To that, Semi returned a smile of his own, the bright, joyful one Shirabu loved so much. After they spent several weeks surrounded by dark clouds, a ray of sunshine was a welcome change. Then Shirabu bit his lip, his eyes straying to Semi's still almost full plate. But, would you mind switching food? I like yours better. He hated the idea of stealing Semi's breakfast, but since his plate was also rather full, he supposed it wasn't so bad. Even if Semi made each of them their favorite. In response, Semi furrowed his brow, his eyes darting from one plate to the other, presumably because each had their favorite meal on them. But then just smiled again and pushed his plate towards him. Shirabu rushed with the exchange, feeling heat creeping into his cheeks. Thank you. I know it's weird. I just suddenly wasn't feeling mine, you know? I'm sorry, it's not that I don't like your cooking or anything, I swear. A warm hand squeezed his wrist, stopping the waterfall of words about to spill from his mouth. And the gentle smile on Semi's lips slowly settled his racing heartbeat. Don't worry about it, I understand, said that expression. And even Kosuke blabbered happily as if to support Semi's thoughts. Right, yeah. Still, thanks. I'll make breakfast tomorrow, okay? Nodding, Semi patted his hand again before he went back to feeding Kosuke, and Shirabu relaxed, digging into his new meal. It wasn't his absolute favorite like the one he had before, but he would be damned if he let Semi's hard work go to waste on him. At first, Tanaka wanted to do the challenge just because he was curious how Ennoshita would react. Considering his fiancée tested him similarly in the past, he wondered whether he would get defensive of his food or not. Well, knowing him for as long as Tanaka had, he was quite sure he knew the answer already. But there was always a sliver of chance Ennoshita could refuse to switch his food despite the inherent kindness of his heart. Not that Tanaka would get upset if that was the case. However, now that he watched Ennoshita take out several boxes with food from a place near his work, a food he apparently didn't order but was addressed to him, the urge to do the challenge for a completely different reason made him restless. Are you sure it wasn't some mistake? Ennoshita shrugged, biting his lip as he took in the hoard of food, among which Tanaka spotted some of Ennoshita's favorites. I don't know, but everyone said it wasn't for them. It felt like waste if I just threw it away. Yeah, I get that. But why would anyone order so much food to send to someone else? Despite his question, he did have a sneaking suspicion on who it could possibly be. There really wasn't any other plausible explanation, which just made him worry more. If this was the same person who already managed to sneak something to Ennoshita before, there was no saying they wouldn't try it again. It was improbable, given that, according to Ennoshita, the food was delivered to him by the restaurant's driver. But he didn't intend to risk anything. Let me try it first. If nothing happens, we can get stuffed for free today. Ryu, that's not... It is. I'm not letting you get drugged again. Not risking it. Ennoshita opened his mouth again, perhaps to protest, but Tanaka silenced him with a kiss before he could. I just want you to be safe, not steal your food. I know, but I don't like the idea of you getting in danger because of me either. You're still taking medication. What if you eat something that really was drugged and it reacts badly? You could suffer some serious issues or die. He looked so distressed, Tanaka pulled him into a hug, half ready to just throw everything into trash if it meant his beloved wouldn't have to be scared. It's going to be fine if I get just a little bit, right? Maybe I'm paranoid anyway and it's clear. Ennoshita shivered in his arms and then hid deeper into the crook of his neck. Alright. But if you feel anything weird, you tell me and we are going to the hospital, okay? Promise me. I promise. It wasn't often they went out for dinner, but it made things that much easier for Terushima. Or at least that's what he thought before they actually arrived at the restaurant, and the realization that he would have to steal something Daisho was definitely looking forward to from him dawned on him. Damn it. Maybe I should wait. But then again, when do we get to eat something different than the other has than when going out? And here I thought it would be easy peasy. He shook his head to not let his grumpy thoughts reflect on his face, to not ruin the moment of peace between them. It was a huge thing that Daisho asked him to eat out, making Terushima wonder if there was something he wanted to do or say. But then again, he could just be returning the favor from last week when Terushima was the one taking them out on a date. Whatever the reason, he intended to enjoy the time spent together to the fullest. Can I choose for you? He blinked himself back into the present, finding Daisho looking at him over the table with badly hidden excitement twinkling in his eyes, and couldn't help but smile. Sure, go ahead. Do you know this place? Yeah, we come here with the team when we are celebrating something. Their cook is incredible, and they have a special this week I thought you would love. So I wanted to take you here. A light pink blush spread over his cheeks when he said it, melting Terushima's heart. That is, until he reminded himself of the challenge. He managed to keep his expression unchanged, but his mind was racing now, trying to come up with some alteration to the challenge to not break Suguru's heart with his supposed uninterest in the food his beloved chose for him. It can still work, right? It doesn't have to be a full plate switch. Are we celebrating something? Daisho stilled for a beat, his eyes darting away and cheeks coloring darker shade of pink. I suppose a little. I know we had dinner after our engagement, but I thought that maybe a dedicated one could be nice. Aw, you're so cute. He reached over the table to entwine their fingers together, leaving them like that even after the server came over with the food. He started salivating even before he had the chance to taste the meal in front of him. Just the idea of giving up on the fish and seafood making him sad. Though imagining taking away Suguru's dinner as he watched him trying to hide how much he was looking forward to it hurt perhaps even more. And so he reached over the table to steal a piece of Daisho's fish, chuckling quietly when Daisho gave him one of his absolutely adorable confused looks. I want to know what you have too. Oh, would you mind if I tried yours too? Grinning, Terushima pushed the plate closer to him, and then dug into the meal himself, happy for coming up with a solution, but mainly because they got to spend time together. That was the important part. While others were most definitely celebrating success with this challenge, Sakusa had no illusions about what the result would be for him. No way would a glutton like Atsumu ever give up his meal, not even for him. It was something Sakusa made peace with long ago after one particular afternoon about a year after they started dating. Back then, he was starving, and yet Atsumu still didn't share his onigiri, protecting them more viciously than a dog its bowl. A rather disappointing discovery, but it wasn't a deal-breaker since Atsumu proved to be much more compassionate in regards to most other things. Ah well, doesn't hurt to try. It's an exchange after all, I'm not asking him to share. Mommy? Come on, the food's here. He locked his phone and headed to the kitchen, finding Atsumu unloading the bag with takeout Sakusa requested in order to do the challenge. Oh, here you go, your pack. I'm still curious though, why did we order today? I thought you are on a no-takeout diet this month. I'm not. Uh-huh, sure you aren't. You gave me a whole lecture last week and now you are the first one to break the rules. Sakusa shrugged. I just had a craving. I'm too old to deny myself things. Old? You're younger than me. And? Mommy, are you calling me old too? Rolling his eyes, Sakusa grabbed his box and left the kitchen. Being old and being too old for something aren't the same. So, you and your wordplays. Still, he soon sat down next to Sakusa and all but tore into his food, making Sakusa wonder if he even managed to breathe in between the bites. Years ago, he would probably call Atsumu disgusting for eating like this, with pieces occasionally falling out of his mouth and rice grains getting stuck on his cheeks. But now, he was way past that. It did no good when he dwelt on minor things. He took a few bites of his onigiri and then put up his best longing gaze. You know, would you mind switching the food? Atsumu turned to him with his mouth still full of rice and fish, looking like a hamster. Oh, why? Chew what you have in your mouth before speaking. And because I kinda like yours better. Oh. He hesitated for a long while, and then, to Sakusa's shock, he pushed his plate towards him. Okay, but next time order what you actually want when you are breaking the rule. Too stunned to speak, Sakusa just nodded and finished the exchange, taking a while to absorb what just happened. I guess some things do change. Thank you. For nothing. I like yours too anyway, so it doesn't matter. He smiled. And what kind of boyfriend would I be if I didn't want to make you happy? Sakusa didn't say anything to that and just leaned closer for a short kiss before he too continued eating. Somewhat confused, but definitely happier. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. As I said, this is going to be the last injection, let's say, of fluff before we go back to angst again. And I'm very much looking forward to that, because we had a lot of fluffy challenges these days and in the recent past. So, yay! Angst enjoyers will have something to look forward to. I will also start doing some small tests and experiments on the channel, so don't get spooked if you see something unusual. It's all part of the plan. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time.